Okay, good morning, thriving warriors and those who wish they were. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 6:03 a.m.
Good. And Alexa, what is the date?
Today is Tuesday, November 1st.
Great. And Alexa, what is the weather?
Currently, in Amargosa Valley, it's 47 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly cloudy skies. Today, you can expect lots of wind with a high of 72 degrees and a low of 44 degrees. By the way, there's a wind advisory in effect Tuesday, November 1st from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Gotta make sure it's on right. Okay, good morning, people. No one is there yet. Interesting. Okay, well, okay. So here we are at Career Services Department, where our goal is to help you get from point A to point B. That is correct. Our job is to help you, not to do it for you, not to teach you, to help you learn, to become autodidactic. And we do it several ways. We do it several ways, starting with this podcast, this video, this 10 to 14 minute-ish sort of, but not really a video podcast every morning, but more importantly, down in the description down below, there are links. Please subscribe, please click the bell, please share this with someone else and get them to try it. Only for people who want to get from point A to point B, where B is better. Okay, so one thing we do is we have this video, but inside the links down below, there is a link to our online course, our teachable course, our 4-week basic training course, our neuroscience-oriented approach to success course. There is a link to the motivational video that I use to create this podcast. There is a link to the TED Talk that goes with today's day in the 4-week workshop. So we are actually on week 4, day 2, Stoicism. There is a bunch of other links and information about services that we provide our members: housing, clothing, food, hygiene, transportation, skills training, foundational employment, and career planning. That's in all down below. Plus, yet there's more. There is the link from, or the transcript of Seth Godin's daily blog. So there's a lot to this. Please have a pen and paper handy, because the goal is to remember this stuff. That's what the goal is, to remember it. And you're not going to, where'd I go? You're not going to remember it if you don't write it down, because every time you see it, say it, hear it, you make another copy in your brain. Okay, so our theme, our approach is, it's simple. You want to get from point A to point B, it's simple, ... And then we have a series of breadcrumbs, bleep, bleep, bleep. The first breadcrumb is the it's simple theme for the day. It's simple, fall forward. We're always going to have setbacks. We're always going to have, I don't like to say failure. I think you only fail when you quit. You have to have a Navy SEAL approach that we'll get back in the fight. If knocked down, we will get up every time. Fall forward. Don't fall back. Fall forward. If you're not having setbacks, if you're not, in quotes, failing, if you're not doing that, it simply means you're playing in the, good morning, Diana. It simply means that you're playing against, in an arena that's not good enough. You should be challenging yourself. Good morning, Todd. It's Henry Smith, whose rodeo name was Todd. We call him Todd. Good to see you, Todd. Good to see that you're here. Maybe one day we'll get Sayer on board also. Anyway, good morning, Diana. Good morning, Henry. I'm sure Charlene is out there as well. So fall forward. That's our breadcrumb for today. Fall forward. Todd does a great job at that. Literally, before when he had his walker, now no more walker. My giant cup of coffee. Whoops, it just shrunk. Fall forward. Diana, excellent job of falling forward. Keep getting back up, back in the game, moving forward, having a goal, etc. Okay, the trolls are back. The trolls are back. Hide user on this channel. Okay, the bots were attacking us. So you know you're doing something good when the bots are doing it. I'm doing well, thank you, and all the prayers. Okay, great. Todd's going through some hard times, but he's falling forward. Diana's falling forward. Charlene moves forward. She moves forward at a steady pace. So all of you are doing great. Keep it up. We now need to get other people to do the same thing too. Our merry band of not misfits, but our merry band of not misfits. Fall forward. Okay, here's another important thing from today's talk. Oh, what's that? What is that? Uh-oh. It's a salt lamp. They're all showing up over here, Todd. Interesting thing about the human brain. It doesn't really comprehend negative. So in the motivational video today, it says pilots are not taught to avoid the obstacles, because if you say don't hit the obstacle, they focus on the obstacle and then they hit it. I was told the same thing about learning to ride a motorcycle. You don't focus on the tree or the wall, you focus on where you want to go. You're always looking at where you want to go, not where you don't want to go. You don't say to your kids, don't eat on the couch. And Mark Rowland has made a big point in the past of saying, eliminate the word don't from your vocabulary, because our brain doesn't really comprehend don't. What it comprehends is what comes after it. So instead of don't eat on the couch, it focuses on eat on the couch. When you use that negative self-talk, I can't do this, we turn it into a thing that we're unable to do. So instead of saying don't eat on the couch, say eat at the table. Turn everything into a positive, because it's easier for our brains to process that. Okay, we love convenience. We are attracted to convenience. We need to focus on the goal. Here's the thing that happens. This isn't from today's talk, but it's related there too. When you start something, you do it because there's a reward that you have in mind. And then there's effort. The reason we start a thing is the reward is more than the effort. Our perception of the reward is greater than the effort. However, as time goes on, we tend to focus more on the effort, because that's the thing that bothers us. God, this sucks. Or how come I'm not rich yet? Whatever. We always have to remember to focus on the reward. And I think this is something Charlene is very good at. She focuses on the reward, not the effort. And perhaps, I know with some people, when you think about the effort, immediately think about, what's the alternative to where I am now? This sucks. But is it better to be here than the alternative? Instead of focusing on the "this sucks" part, it'd be better to focus on the "were I not here, where would I be" type of thing. Accentuate the positive. Okay, so that's it for our motivational video and our first breadcrumb bleep. Fall forward. Don't be afraid to fail, in quotes, fail. Again, I think you only fail when you give up. There are obstacles. There are challenges. If there's no obstacles and challenges, then you're not trying hard enough. So you need to recalibrate. Okay, next, TED Talk. Okay, yesterday was Nancy Kane, Professor Nancy Kane from Harvard, who has been a very good supporter to our school, giving us books, emails of encouragement, especially to our women students. And she left several breadcrumbs, and that was under the heading of crisis leadership, talking about VUCA, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. The world is full of VUCA now. The old template of how to deal with change is gone. The old template, she says, rip it up. We need a new template dealing with the world as it is, with a lot of VUCA, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. So we need to be able to take a little bit of information and turn it into wisdom so we can make better decisions. And then she talks about uses President Lincoln and Ernest Shackleton as examples. And she has 11 breadcrumbs to follow. The world is my classroom is actually the first one. Okay, today it is Michael Sugra talking about Stoicism and Marcus Aurelius. This is perfect or pure leadership. The type of leadership when you have no constraints, when you can do anything you want. How should you act? And the answer is with Stoicism. And turns out one of the emperors of Rome died in, I think, 190 AD. Marcus Aurelius was a Stoic philosopher. He could have anything he wanted, but he lived a virtuous life. That's kind of cool. But what was really cool is because he really had no friends, everybody wanted something from him. He kept a journal. And he wrote on it, "To myself." Now we know it as the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, so the things he would think about. But for him, it was a journal or a series of journals that he'd come home at night after dinner, whatever, and he'd just, write in his journal. And it was on the top, it said, "To myself," where he'd have other journals that he would write other things on. This one was "To myself," and he left instructions, "When I die, just burn it." However, upon his death, the people going through his things read it and said, "Oh no, this is too valuable. We can't throw this stuff away because it's the inner thoughts of the most powerful person in the world, the kind of things that he thought about, just private thoughts to himself." So this wasn't an autobiography as a marketing tool to the world and posterity to say how great I am. This was just somebody's thoughts to himself on challenges, problems, how to live a better life, etc. So we have it as that. Marcus Aurelius was a Stoic. A couple points about Stoicism. One, the first premise is there are things I can control and things I cannot control. I don't let the things that I cannot control bother me because I can't control them. Viktor Frankl would pick up on this regarding stimulus and response. I can't control the stimulus, but I can always control how I respond to it. Next thing, moral virtue is enough. Boom. How do you live a good life? Moral virtue is enough. Moral virtue is enough. Just do the right thing at the right time in the right way for the right reason. That's all you have to do. Is it hard figuring out what the right thing is? No, not really. It's hard doing it because it's usually the least comfortable option. All right, so we're at 15 minutes in. Seth Godin blog, kind of a long one. Gatekeepers and judgment. This is an important one. Infinity is seductive. 1,000 emails take up just as much space and cost just as much as one. An online bookstore can carry every book ever published, and the big long tail of music gives every single person a chance to share their work. The simple thing to do is let the market sort itself out. No judgment. That's what the algorithms of the tech world purport to do. No judgment about the taste, quality, or standards. Hands off about sources, repercussions, or impact. It's easier, and at some level, it seems more fair. Without the scarcity of limited shelf space, it's easy to embrace infinity. But no judgment is still judgment in itself. When a site publishes every idea on its platform, promoting each based on a non-published formula, they've made a judgment about the power of ideas and the way a community can evolve. This is new. Libraries, bookstores, radio stations, all of the keepers of our culture danced with scarcity and influence and responded with judgment. If you can't carry or promote everything, then judgment is the obvious response because you have to pick something. But when companies demur and refuse to make a judgment, infinity and scarcity collide. Boom! Institutional reputation and knowledge have value, and by ignoring them, the big tech companies are making a statement about the value, about that value. Each seems to be trying harder than the next to help users fail to understand what's worth trusting. The fracas that is kindergarten has a useful function. It helps kids grow up. But if you need surgery, I hope you'll go to the hospital, not the local elementary school. Okay, so what's he saying? Well, we do need gatekeepers and we do need judgment because sometimes the market can't sort itself out when there's an infinite number of selections. Somebody needs to help. Somebody needs to have judgment. Okay, good morning, Richard.
Good morning.
And now we are at the end, and it is our Navy SEAL maxim, which is what? Hopefully Charlene will chime in on that. There's Diana. Yesterday was the only easy day. Correct. Why do we repeat this every day, Todd? Because we need it to be ingrained. We need it to be more than just rote memory. We need it to be part of how we act. Aha! Charlene is there. Yesterday was the only easy day. Good. And so what are some of the ways that we make it uneasy? What are some of the ways to make today, to have yesterday as the only easy day? Okay, Diana, don't compare yourself to others. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Right, good. What else? It's another way to do it. What are some other ways? Henry Smith, yesterday. Okay, Diana, don't compare yourself. What else? Charlene, be more samurai. Karate chop chop. Why do I say karate chop chop? Again, as a mind hack. Help you remember be more samurai. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Yeah, that's the most important one probably. Be comfortable, get comfortable. No, be comfortable being uncomfortable. And what is our C5 complex? Have a plan A. Focus on plan A. Good. More positivity. Well, we can't make yesterday the only easy day by being more positive today. So good guess, Todd. We're trying to get yesterday's the only easy day. Plan A. Have a plan A. Plan A needs to be what? With the C5 enhancement, Plan A needs to be clear, concise, compelling, consistent, and committed. You have to be committed to it. All right. Embrace the suck. Hope Charlene is doing well. We plan to leave in about 7 minutes. Charlene heading for you to head to City Impact. And yes, use the credit card to buy gas for this Tuesday trip. What else do we've got here? Can somebody say and cut?
Cut.
Okay, that's one and cut. And okay, there we go. And cut. Good.